Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. We're like sitting here looking at the monitors and there's a new piece of equipment and we're sort of awestruck.
New machines.
New machines. We don't always do well with new stuff. But anyway, before we start, I want to say a very special happy birthday shout out to my friend Jasmine. We've showed her dog Tank a couple of times on the show. Jasmine, like Zach, hit the big 2-0 yesterday. I remember 20, but I don't. I think I remember 21 more than I remember 20. But 20 is big because you're not a teenager anymore. And then you hit 21 and you're legal. And I don't know, it's really cool that I have people that I love so much in my life that are so much younger. You know, it's kind of neat. But happy birthday to Jasmine. She's away for the weekend, and good for her, except she picked the wrong weekend, I think, to head to Vermont, because it's even colder up there than it is here. But hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Happy birthday. And we'll have to do something to celebrate. Anyway, speaking of the cold, you know where I'm going to start to go with this. Connecticut has laws, tethering laws, and laws that state that animals must be protected from the weather. Zach, let's get that poster up. There we go. These are the tethering laws for the state of Connecticut. Animals also cannot be tethered outside during weather advisories. So this weekend falls into that category of the weather advisories. It's against the law to leave your dogs out in the cold. The best thing you can do is to make your trips outside with your dogs brief when you're taking them out because of the cold. Keep your cats inside. If there's people leaving animals outside that you see or in your neighborhood, you're urged to call your local animal control or the police. If animal control is not available. It is against the law to not provide adequate shelter for your animals. Zach, I'll take the camera back. It's a very serious thing, and there are legal ramifications to it, but above and beyond the legal ramifications, you're just not supposed to leave your animals out in the cold. If you're cold, they're going to be cold. When I came inside tonight, it was 3 degrees out. And that's just, that's like instant frostbite. You really can't do that to an animal. If you need to be told to not to leave your animal out exposed in this weather, then you really shouldn't have one. There is a video that one of our state's animal control officers released today, Les Archer, New Hartford and Barkhamsted animal control officer. He is a wonderful guy. He is a member of Bikers Against Animal Cruelty, and he has his own animal organization for the love of Jack. He put out a video today explaining in depth the law and the fines involved in getting pinched for leaving your animals out. And I do have it posted on the Posse Presents Facebook page. I have it on my Waterbury Animal Welfare Examiner pages. I have it on my own page. It's being shared widely on Facebook, but I urge you to check it out. It's clear, concise, he makes all the sense in the world. It's a great PSA, if you will. By all means, watch it, share it. Some people maybe need it shared to their Facebook page or emailed to them, so maybe they get a clue. But kudos to Les, who is a great guy, for doing that, because, you know, somebody, it was long overdue. Somebody needed to do it, and he did it. And like I said, he clearly and concisely spelled out everything one needs to know about leaving their animals out under these conditions when there's weather advisories. And, you know, never mind the inhumane aspect of it. You know, if you think you're going to get away with it, there's legal ramifications. So anyway, speaking of Les and Bikers Against Animal Cruelty and For the Love of Jack, I went to a paint party last weekend that was for the Love of Jack, and I have to give a great big thank you to Lisa Gay for my going, because without her involvement, I don't think I even really knew that they had it rescheduled and that I could go. So we got to make new friends and see some old ones and have a great time in the process. Zach, let's get the paint party pictures up one at a time. There we go, with my friends from Bikers Against Animal Cruelty and my new friend Sherry. There we were after the painting event. That's Jay and Jennifer and Lisa and Sherry and me. My back peeps are wonderful, and I did a picture. Let's go to the next picture, Zach. That's my mojo picture, if you will. It was my finished product, and unfortunately, you know, I'm like that frustrated artist that still wants to keep playing with it, and, you know, had to call it finished when I did. Go ahead and put up the other picture. That was my inspiration. You could flip back and forth, yep, between those two. That was my inspiration. That's where I got to with that. And as I said, that was to benefit For the Love of Jack. And I will, there's I think one more picture. That is actually my birthday girl Jasmine with her picture, and her mom Lisa Gay, and me. When we were all done, we were showing off our artwork. And great big thank you to those ladies for getting me involved in that event. As I said, it was to benefit For the Love of Jack. And you can check out For the Love of Jack on Facebook, as well as Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. And we've got For the Love of Jack hopefully coming on sometime soon. We've got Bikers Against Animal Cruelty coming back. Talked to Lisa about that last weekend. Their Woofstock event is coming up, so, you know, we want to talk about that. I'll take the camera back, and I'm going to go through some adoptable dogs now. At Yonkers Animal Shelter, let's get Cinnamon up. Not long ago, Cinnamon was a throwaway mom. She was scared and she cowered in her kennel. Now she's a completely different dog who knows what love is. She's described as being silly, smart, and beautiful. She will require a meet and greet with other dogs. I guess she gets along with most males, but they want to be sure that if they put her into a home, it's going to go well with another dog. Cinnamon is patiently waiting for her forever home. And she's a beautiful girl. If you look at her, there's nothing not to love. I love her with her flower collar. She looks like a real sweetheart, a happy smile in that picture up there on the top. She's been there a while, and she just really needs a home. You know, she's come around. She was Unfortunately, as too many dogs are, that throwaway mom, and she really needs a place to call her own. There are some other ladies at the Yonkers Animal Shelter. Let's get the next picture up, Zach, who have been there, including Cinnamon, for a while. They're kind of long timers. There are so many beautiful dogs there. I love Cleo. She's the little tiny black and white picture there, underneath Alba. So many of these dogs, they sit and they wait so patiently. It's heartbreaking to know that, there's got to be a home for them out there, and it's just a matter of time before the right set of eyes sees them. So people, these dogs are up on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. By all means, please share them. Share animals that you see that need homes, because that's the biggest way that they get the exposure that they need to get in front of the right set of eyes who will adopt them. If you are interested in Cinnamon or any of these lovely ladies who are, as I said, patiently waiting for homes, some of them for quite some time, maybe you can go and get yourself a Valentine, since tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I think that dogs are better than people, and why not have a dog as a Valentine? You can email LeslieM147@gmail.com. That's LeslieM147@gmail.com, or you can call 201-981-3215. Once again, that's 201-981-3215. I'll take the camera back for a moment, and we're going to talk about another dog who was a former Yonkers Animal Shelter dog. Harley was adopted after 3 years at the shelter, and let's take a look at Harley. Three years at the shelter, and Harley was adopted. Spent 3 years in a loving home, but her people now have some personal issues, and Harley needs a new home. It's easy to judge, but sometimes it's best not to, and it's best just to help. If we all knew a situation, maybe we would have some understanding for it. I don't know what the situation is, but they are urging us not to judge, that this is the best thing for Harley to be put into a new home. Unfortunately, Harley needs to be an only pet. She's an older, mellow girl. She's well behaved. She loves people. She's lived with, as you can see, a toddler. So she's a good family dog, just needs to be the only dog in the home. Unfortunately, she's currently in boarding, and she's pretty much completely falling apart. Some dogs do less well than others in a boarding or kennel environment. After 3 years in a shelter and then 3 years in a home, it's got to be an awful transition for her, and she really just needs a foster, or better yet, a home. It's just too much for her to be where she is now. And again, this dog is posted on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, and of course the Yonkers Animal Shelter page if you want to go directly there. But if you can share and try to help Harley and any of these dogs get a home, it'll be the best thing you can do for them. Now, if you are interested in Harley, you can email kobedog59@aol.com, kobedog59@aol.com, or you can call 201-981-3215. Once again, that's 201-981-3215. Now, Harley is located in Westchester, New York, but, that's not that far away. And I know sometimes people act like anything out of state is in another country, but it really isn't. So don't be put off by the fact that Harley is out of state, or any of the other dogs at the Yonkers Animal Shelter. Out of state is not, it's not an obstacle, and that's really easy transport if it needs to happen. I will take the camera back, Zach, and we are going to talk about a documentary that's coming out. There are screenings popping up of this documentary, and it's still a tough subject for many people. The Champions is an inspirational and uplifting look at the story of the pit bulls rescued from the dogfighting operation of Michael Vick. It's also about the people who risked everything to save these dogs. And Zach, let's get that poster up. This is the promo poster for the Champions. In spite of PETA and the Humane Society of the United States wanting to kill these dogs, so many of the Vicktory Dogs went on to live wonderful lives and prove that animals are so much better than people in so many ways. I've said so many times that PETA and the Humane Society and the ASPCA, they're not all that people crack them up to be. They would have just as soon put these dogs down. And you just, if you followed any of their stories, you know that they were wonderful dogs, so many of them that were able to go on and live with families and make a difference with the whole stigma that's attached to the pit bulls. They're so much more forgiving than people. That's kind of what it says in the tagline on the poster. But this seems like it's probably going to be a don't miss kind of thing. And I'm certainly hoping to attend the screening in Northampton, Mass, which will be in March. And Cherry Garcia, who is a Vicktory dog, and they do call them Vicktory Dogs, V-I-C-K, Vicktory, and her people will be there. My friends from Cane's Crusade will be there. And for more information, you can go to the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. Zach, I'll take the camera back. You can go to the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, where I have posted, Zach, hello. I've posted the event. I've actually invited quite a few people, the Facebook events where you invite people and stuff, because I think this is a don't miss for a lot of reasons. But, go to the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page, or even email me and I'll send you the link. You can email me at pawprints, PAWPRINTS, 713@AOL.com, and I'll be happy to send you a link to this particular event. The screenings, they're popping up. Like I said, there's like this whole online thing where you can try to get a screening of a movie that you want to do this with, and I think it'd be really nice to have one in Connecticut. I've been trying to break some ground myself to look into seeing what steps need to be taken, what movie theaters are available, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently there are others who are looking into it as well, and I would certainly be willing to join forces, or just let somebody else, if someone else has got it under control. I'm certainly not going to compete, because that would be silly. And I'm sure in the some parts of this movie might be hard to see, but it's also something that I don't think we should ever forget. The whole Michael Vick thing is a sore spot for a lot of people. It certainly is for me. But more importantly than what we hold against Michael Vick, which is never going to go away for most of us. Just the fact that these dogs were so mistreated, they were so wrongly put to a use that they just should never have been, and they had to fight for their very lives. Yet they were taken out of that situation and made so much more of themselves than what they ever had a chance to do where they came from. It's an amazing thing. And, you know, I'm really excited to see this. I'm excited to see the positive side of this story. I think that as much has been put out there about what happened with these dogs and how they were saved, I think that this would probably be a welcome slant on the whole thing, just a different perspective. And I would certainly welcome meeting the people who have one of these dogs. And I think that it would be a great opportunity. You know, again, just because it's in Massachusetts doesn't mean it's in another state. There are so many of us that could probably carpool and, you know, get together and go do this. I MapQuested it, actually. This particular Northampton, Mass. is like 75 miles from Waterbury, an hour and 13 minutes. And, you know, it's not another country, folks. We can all jump in somebody's car and go, and it would be great. So if anybody's interested, holler, because I think it's a great thing that we could do all together as rescuers, as animal lovers, is go see this movie, because I think it stands for so much. We've got a guest in the house for the next show, someone who's been on the show before here, Missy Weller. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Anyway, so yeah, if anybody is interested in trying to get a screening here in Connecticut too, like I said, I know that there's a few people who are supposed to be working on that. I'm still not gonna give up looking into it, and I've actually reached out to the people who are hosting this screening, because I would love to have them come on the show. I'd be honored if they would. So hopefully I will hear back from them. And I've also talked to Deb Young, and hopefully we'll get to go with Juno, and that'll be a story and a story, of course. But anyway, the last month or so has been kind of hard here. Not been a lot of shows for one reason or another, whether it's been Zach's birthday or weather or my going to the hospital. So I just want to thank everybody for their concern. I was transported by ambulance to the emergency room a couple of weekends ago. Doing a lot better now. Medicine has a lot to do with it, and lack thereof, but fortunately I was able to see a doctor this week and back on some medication that I need, so that's a good thing. So thank you to everybody who has been concerned and reached out to me. I certainly appreciate it. It means the world. And I'm going to point out that I think I've done 3 shows so far this year, and in 3 shows I've worn 3 awesome shirts. This one, my Harley Hero Dog shirt. Last week I had my I Kissed a Pit Bull and I Like It shirt on that was sent to me by a really wonderful person for whom I am grateful and to have in my life. And the week before that I had my Sweet Pea shirt on. So there's my big things, my shirts lately this year, which I'm enjoying more than I can tell you. But anyway, how much longer do we have, Zach? Okay, I can do this. Okay, just to recap, we've got some really cute dogs that need homes, and it's not just because they're cute, it's because they deserve homes. Zach, let's throw up the dogs one more time. We've got Cinnamon, and we've got a few others here at Yonkers Animal Shelter. And we've also got Harley. So if anybody's interested in any of these dogs, you can certainly go to the Yonkers Animal Shelter Facebook page and find out more. LeslieM@gmail.com is the contact for all of these. Harley is KobeDog59@AOL.com. You can call 201-981-3215 and find out more about any of these dogs. Remember, folks, don't leave your dogs out in the cold. Zach, I'll take the camera back. There are laws against it, and I urge you to watch Les Archer's video. He makes some great points and talks about not just not leaving your pets outside, but the fact that there are legal ramifications in doing so. Remember, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for them. Keep your cats inside. Keep your walks short with your dogs. You know, this isn't the weather to go, 2-mile walking with your dog out in the cold. It should be just basically in and out and done. I feel guilty just making my dogs go outside. They make me feel guilty too, but that's another story entirely. Speedo's looking at me like I'm nuts. What can I tell you? My dogs are like me. They don't even really like to be outside. I feel bad when Duke decides to go bust it into a snow pile and he figures out that it's a little too cold in it. But what did I see today on Facebook? Something about it's cold outside when you're not stepping in dog poop, you're tripping over it. Because you saw that, right? Because it's frozen. That's pretty much the state of things right now. But anyway, until next week, we're going to say peace, love, and dogs. Thank you for watching.